Hey everyone, it's the Nitty Professor. Welcome to my spinning room / my son's bedroom, which he normally doesn't occupy. So it's turned into kind of a spinning studio. I thought I would invite you along today. We're going to spin up some of this Frabjous fiber. Let me see if I can find the label. Well, somewhere I have a label. But in any case, it's by Frabjous Fiber, and it's 100% wool. I really like these colors. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to get this started. So that's what we're here for. And I have Ari with me. He's had quite the busy day playing with his little cousin, the Malinois Summer, who's quite large. But I did find out that Ari weighs 15 pounds. So, oh, and I have a cat with me. Yay, I have mistletoe. So for this spin, this staple is kind of on the long side. But I'm just going to divide it into these lengths. See how I do. You can almost look on it as being like a noodle. It's coming apart pretty nicely. I think Ari's having fun licking the. I always use the music stand as a tripod. Since I'm a musician, I own one of those Manhasset stands. They're really nice, but they serve good, serve very well as a place to mount your camera when you want to make YouTube videos. I think this is a little long to work with. Maybe I'll just split this in half. What are you yawning about? He's already bored. He's like yawning. And then the next step is I'm just going to kind of tease these fibers apart a little bit more so that they will slide against each other, and make sure nothing is unduly felted. Again, this is a really long staple. I mean, it must be 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches, because I have to really pull my hands apart to even make this happen. That one almost broke all the way, which is fine. So I'll just rip that one off. But yeah, this works very well as a way to prep the fiber so that it's easier to spin. I have not spun this particular kind of preparation from Frabjous Fiber, so going a little bit by the seat of my pants, which is nothing new. I think in many ways that's what fiber crafting is about, is experimenting. But generally this works pretty well. These fibers are a little tough to slide past each other, so it's a good thing that I'm doing this, because if I didn't, it would be a mess trying to spin it to get that drafting triangle to function for me. So we'll see how I'm doing. Like I say, this is a new prep. I love spinning the cloud prep that I showed you, the night glow from my friend Kelly of Dakota Carding and Wool. I kind of look on it as like a spidery, webby kind of material when I do it. So now, I don't know, I use a Lendrum. So this spinning wheel I have here is a Lendrum. I love it. I have a leader that I put on here. It's kind of long. I've had it for quite a while, using this as a way to just get my fiber started going on here. And hopefully my tension is set right. I have been using the same tension for quite a while. I use the smaller whirl. This has 3 separate whirls on this bigger, it's like a gear-like thing. And I used to try using the smallest one, but that ended up producing yarn that was really almost too fine. It would just sort of break apart. So I've gotten into the habit of spinning on the second of the 3 whirls on the smaller, I'll just call it a whirl set. There's probably a technical term that I don't know, and if you know it, feel free to correct me. I don't have a problem with that at all. So we're going to see what happens here. I've already got a hang up because it's caught on this clip in a way that I know darn well is not going to work. Ari, what are you chewing on? Did you find something? He's trying to chew on a steel footstool. That's a very interesting choice, Ari. We'll see how long he lets me go at this here. So we'll see how this spins up. Really, I try to get it, pretty thin. And this, boy, this really wants to stick together. So I'm going to have to work hard to get it fairly thin. You can tell here okay, I'm getting in a nice rhythm here. I almost want to speed it up a little, but it's going pretty well. Yeah, this has crazy long staple. I try to adjust my speed when I'm treadling so that I'm not letting it eat the yarn too quickly onto the bobbin, and so that I can get a steady rhythm going and really control the evenness of the thickness of the fiber. And we'll see how we're doing here. I almost feel like I could probably increase the tension just a hair and let it get swallowed up onto the bobbin a little bit quicker, because I don't want too much twist in there. Every fiber behaves differently as far as the staple, the amount of twist it needs or doesn't need, and I try to incorporate no more twist than I really have to for the yarn to hold together, because I have made some yarns in the past that were almost overspun, and then the texture isn't as good. So let's check. Oh, I think that's actually going pretty well. You probably can't see it, it's not close enough, but I think I'm getting now a pretty good texture. And since I have that big leader thread on there, I can afford to move the clip along the bobbin. I like how the lending is set up, because the way the clip works, and you move it along the bottom, you can get the yarn to really spread out evenly on there, which is nice. I'm about ready for another noodle. Another yarn noodle. This is going to be fun. And this Frabjous fiber, it's not so fine. I've done some like superwash merino fiber that it almost is sharp as I'm moving it through my fingers to get it drafted. Almost cuts into my fingers. This is much softer. So I'm enjoying this so far. I think it's going to turn out really well. I had winter solstice music playing there for a little while. Obviously, it's copyrighted, so I couldn't play it in the background without purchasing it. But it's very pleasant. This room is nice and quiet. Now Ari's back sleeping again. Oh my gosh, he had a busy day. He had such a busy day. But when I first brought him in here, he was like, "What's this weird room?" And it was almost like he thought it was a different house. That was a couple weeks ago. But now, when he comes in here, everybody likes to be in here. The cats like to be in here. The dogs like to be in here, because it's so nice and quiet. And I'm relaxed, enjoying being in my spinning groove. I got all the presents wrapped that I need to wrap. My younger son, Culver's coming. He's going to do some wrapping for me. Let's check this again. Yeah, I don't need any more twist. In fact, I think I'm going to try to make it go in there even faster. I always have to keep an eye on the tension. Can't be careful enough. It's always changing. Have to do these incremental adjustments. The way this bobbin works, somebody explained, I can't remember if it's Scotch tension or what, but the bobbin is connected to, has a thread going around it, and you adjust the tension of the thread with a kind of a pin, like a dowel-like thing. Let me see. Yeah, that's better. I don't want to have too much twist on here. So, gotta let it get sucked up in there pretty quick. And then, of course, the tension might change depending on how much fiber is on the bobbin. All kinds of things. It could come out of tension. You could sort of shift itself a little bit. So, always have to keep an eye on the tension and how the yarn is spinning up. So this is fun. We have some green, blue, white, and black. One of the things I have to watch for is right now I have red pants. So if I had like green pants, I couldn't do that. I would have to put like a towel under the fiber or something, because I have to be able to see the contrast of the fiber against whatever pants I have on, because my eyes aren't that great. So having maroon pants with this green fiber is actually working out pretty well. A lot of people can tell you like what drafting technique they use. I have no idea. I do what works. So I did take lessons to learn how to spin. And I know there's like the long draw and short draw and everything in between. And for any given fiber, I just draw it however it works. However it works. And I'm getting pretty stuck in my ways because I tend to try to make it pretty thin without making it too thin. Boy, it's really getting sucked up on there now. It's good. And then, so I divide it in thirds and I make a 3-ply. Make a 3-ply yarn. And for a while I found that when I was plying it, I was putting a little bit too much twist in it. And so with the last yarn I made, I put a little bit less twist in there. And I have ways of counting it, like, you know, how many treadles I do, depending on the length that I'm drawing and allowing to go into the bobbin. And I ply on a different wheel. I ply on a Spinolution. A Spinolution Echo. It's the wheel I learned to spin on. I had a real hard time learning how to spin on the thing. When I switched to the Lendrum, I found it much easier to learn how to spin on this one. But then it turned out that the Spinolution was great for plying. So I've got a really nice setup. I'm very blessed to have 2 spinning wheels. I really had to learn how to do spinning on a spindle, and I haven't gotten that far yet. You know, a lot of people will start with that. They'll start learning on a hand spindle, and I was told, Kelly told me, you should try that first. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to learn how to spin on the spinning wheel. I think it's looking pretty good. And she was like, okay. So because I had bought, you know, an $800 wheel, and I was like, I'm going to learn how to spin on it. So now I could spin on a spinning wheel, but I don't know how to spin on a spindle. I really want to teach my daughter how to spin. She's interested. It's just hard to spend time with her because she lives in Omaha, and I live up here in South Dakota. It's like 6 hours time you stop for gas and a meal, but maybe one of these days. And another issue is she doesn't have a car, so she can't just like come up here. And she works. It's hard for her to get time off. But one of these days, if you're listening to this, Darren, we're gonna get you spinning. It really is. It's a very relaxing hobby. Sometimes I have to watch because when I'm drafting it, I hold on a little bit tight, and then my hand wants to get stiff. And I really don't need to do that. Although I do find that when I'm using the cloud prep, I don't have to hold the fiber in my left hand as tightly because it, I don't know, it's just, again, it's more like a spider web, whereas this is, you know, it's strands. It's already combed and put into longitudinal form, whereas when you use the cloud prep, it's carded, but it's not combed. And I don't know. That is my favorite prep. That's my favorite prep. I kind of feel like with the fiber that I have, from now on, if I buy fiber, it's going to be the cloud prep. And not many people make that. It's kind of hard to find. Kelly is one of the few people who, that's like the only prep that she does for fiber with Dakota Carding Wool. In fact, there was an article in the Spinning Magazine about how she makes her preparations and the techniques for spinning it. And I don't know. I find it the most fun to spin. But this is working out well. This wool is soft. It's fairly woolen. And I think it's turning out well. So kind of give a little check again. I apologize for, you know, it's kind of far away from, I have a very simplistic camera setup, but hopefully you can kind of get something out of how I'm going about this and how pleasant it is. It's just really relaxing. Ari's asleep, and I could just enjoy watching him in his puppy dreamland. And Mistletoe's over there. I don't know, she's way in the corner. You probably can't see her. She's over on the other side of that spinning wheel on the bed, but she's very relaxed too. So I'd be curious how you go about spinning, what your space is like, you know, how often you're able to do it, what wheel you use. any, advice you have as far as pitfalls, tension, all that good stuff. I would probably say that adjusting the tension was the hardest thing for me to get the hang of in learning how to spin. Making it so that I'm making a yarn that's not overspun, but it's also not underspun, and that, when you ply it and you knit with it, it is a satisfying experience. And I have knit a scarf from my hand spun, but now I'm knitting a sweater, and I can really better understand how the way I spin the yarn impacts the way that it knits up. It's very helpful, and it's helped me to kind of change a little bit how I go about it. So yeah, it's like a whole package deal, right? Which prep you use, how you get it ready to spin, and which whirl you use, which drafting technique you use, the tension on the bobbin, all that kind of stuff. It all kind of plays into each other. It's like a dance. It's like a dance, but it's a meditative dance, because once you figure it out, then it's very addictive. So I'm going to continue to enjoy this work of spinning this Frabjous fiber, and hope you all are getting prepared for whatever celebration or lack thereof you're going to enjoy over the coming week. Wish you all the blessings of the season, and I thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.